Hi Gemini, welcome to your March 2017 love reading. I want to apologize. I did not realize that I had not posted a video for your sign. It was the only one. It wasn't until someone wrote to me to kind of bring that up. And it was, definitely not intentional. I did have a cold last week, so it was probably just a matter of, not realizing that I had not recorded every sign. So again, luckily it's not March yet, so I still have plenty of time, but I was pretty surprised to know that I had not done that. So anyway, I've been telling everyone about this Venus retrograde, and that starts on March 4th and continues until mid-April, when it goes back into a latter degree of Pisces, okay? It starts at 13 Aries. So for you, 13 Aries, well, Aries, I should say, is actually your 11th house. And this is considered the luckiest house in astrology. And so this is the house of hopes and wishes and group associations. And, an example of a Venus retrograde in this house could be maybe you met somebody and were romantic with them that you met through some kind of an organization, and you're rethinking the organization, or you're rethinking this person. It's going to go back into your 10th house. So definitely, aside from romance, you may be considering the value of, what it is that you want to make happen, your goals, your career aspirations. And romance can also figure into that, but Venus brings money as well. So it could be about compensation and also just about the value that you attach to things. So when Venus goes retrograde, you can sometimes hear from somebody from the past. So whether it's somebody from a group that you belong to, or maybe it's in your social circle, if you met somebody, in your group of friends, or if you, what was the other, I was going to give another example of that. Oh, well, I was going to say, like, when it goes back into the 10th house, then it could be something to do with a situation in your career where you come back into contact with somebody who you met on the job. And so that kind of thing could be playing out for you in the month of March and into April, actually. It's funny because the Ace of Pentacles is about, like, it could be like having a new job, It's funny that I got that for the overall theme. Okay. Well, first of all, it's funny. I mean, this is something that I'm thinking, but obviously it's not going to be the top, situation going on with you guys. Some of you, maybe a select few, may have had an affair with your boss. And now you are going to be, you looked for another job, or you got another job. You got another job offer. And because I actually got two kings in this reading, and that would be men in positions of authority. And interestingly, one of those men is a water sign, and one is a Pentacles. It's an earth sign. Well, I should have said King of Cups, so you knew that that was a water sign. Anyway, this is a love reading, so let's look at it, purely on that level. The Ace of Pentacles is a card that's associated with new beginnings of a practical nature. But in love, I mean, it can be a card of love as well. But it's a love that is not, something airy-fairy. It's very grounded. It's tangible. That the things that this person is about are, the good qualities are readily apparent, so that you are not left thinking in terms of, well, this person, has potential. No, this relationship is something that you can bank on. And it may be, it's something you can build upon. It could be with an actual earth individual, whether it's a sun or it's they have it as a signature in their chart. So we're looking at Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Either they are that one of those signs, or they have that in the moon or the rising sign, and it gives them that sort of personality type. I think that you're really financially doing well, because right next to it you have the Wheel of Fortune. So it's kind of like everything is falling into place. Everything is great. But this whole reading, I get mostly positive cards. So I don't see you as in a bad place at all. I just think that, as a Gemini, you're kind of flitting through life. And, it could be that some of you with this past position were with somebody who was a water sign, a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, again, has that type of caring, dreamy, imaginative, sometimes very quiet and nurturing attitude. And that person, you may have ended things with that person. It could have been a boss, it could have been the father of your child. And yet I don't see that that was a bad thing, and I don't even see that necessarily the relationship was a bad thing. I don't see anything that suggests that. I just see it like it could be a situation of, unless you were with somebody on the side, and you got a new job, and so now you don't. Yeah, I mean that's definitely a possibility. So it might not have been the head honcho, but it might have been somebody who was in charge of a department or something like that at your last place of employment. Maybe this person was married and you were having an affair, and you just decided to get another job, and things just clicked for you. The higher message is the Page of Cups. I think that perhaps some of you did get duped into a relationship. Maybe somebody told you that they were single and they were actually married, and you were naive. You didn't know. You didn't think you were doing that. So remember that if you ever get involved in a situation where somebody misrepresents themselves, don't feel, and let's say you have an affair, but you don't realize that they are married and they're cheating on their spouse. Don't take the responsibility for that, but by the same token, it was good that you got out of that. In this context, as a higher message, I think that for some reason, it's telling you about watching gullibility, watching, seeing things as you want to see them and not as they really are. This is a card that, because it's a fish jumping out of the cup, but I mean, just the fact it's a cup, it eats a water energy. It's a double, I shouldn't say it's a double feminine energy. But the water signs are feminine, they're receptive, they're passive. I think that this is particularly connects with me and Pisces. So that idea of victimhood, that idea of martyrdom, of gullibility, comes out even stronger when I see this card. And for Gemini, it's not that this is something that I associate with Gemini, but, of course you have a moon sign. Your moon could be in Pisces, and you may have a tendency, or maybe you have, I don't know if you could have Venus in Pisces. It might be too far. No, you couldn't. I don't think, no, maybe you could. I don't think so, though. It's too far away, I think. But in any case, you could have a moon in Pisces, you could have Pisces rising, you could have Pisces, Venus, Pisces, probably Mars in Pisces you could have. And this can, Gemini and Pisces form a square. And this is, it can be difficult energy. And for you, it can lead to self-deception, is what I have, said in a very, very tortured way. Also, your Neptune can be afflicted. I get a lot of clients who have, squares from Venus to Neptune, or the moon to Neptune, which kind of distorts, or Mercury to Neptune, distorts their perceptions, distorts their understanding of reality, and makes them overly idealistic. And that makes you prone to disappointment a lot more than the average person. When you have a lot of hits to Neptune, especially challenging ones, you may, be very artistic, you may be very imaginative, but you may also be a little bit too easily disappointed by life. Life can, kind of like seem dull compared to your fantasies. And, being able to live in the world as it is, I think is very important, just as it is to meditate and kind of get away from the world. Both of those things have to kind of be done. But yeah, so if that's a tendency of yours, then you have to own it and see how you can change that up so that you do not allow yourself to believe ridiculous stories and excuses, that people give you that are done because they're deceiving you. The challenge position is the Five of Swords, and this is a card of people who are slandering another person. People, double talk, a lot of intrigue. Also, a card of winning the battle and losing the war, but it's kind of like, I see it in terms of, people who are cheating, and they get caught up in that ego thing of, I stole this person from the other person, and that makes me so desirable. And it's like this really wretched position to be in, because it's hurting another person, and you're getting, in air quotes, this great catch, also in air quotes, who is a person lacking in integrity because they're cheating on their spouse, their partner. So, when I put it that way, a lot of people would say, oh yeah, that's a terrible situation. But think about how many people degrade themselves and allow themselves to be with somebody who is doing this kind of behavior and feeling like it's okay as long as you're the one that they are choosing. And, my message to people who think like that is, there's cause and effect in the universe. You can't expect to, have loyalty if you're not going to be loyal to other people. If you're not, and even if you don't know, somebody's spouse, they still are in this relationship with that person. But how can you trust that person? If they're cheating on their partner, it's an empty victory if you do get somebody like that. In this situation, I don't. Unless that King of Cups is somebody that you met on the job and you're currently with. That could be it. Some of you could be like cheating with the boss or the supervisor and thinking everything is just like hunky-dory, and yet you're being deceived. And he's telling his spouse something else. My favorite one is, oh, my wife treats me, terribly. My wife is, she doesn't act loving to me. Then the next question should be, well, then why are you with her? And I'm sorry for using, him as the dog, but I'm just dealing with the majority of the people watching, what gender they are. But here's the other thing too. Don't get caught up in drama in terms of, that's another thing. This is all about drama, talking, and all that crap. It's a very low vibration, okay? The number 5 is a number of instability. And so because it's swords, there's a lot of, gums flapping. There's a lot of people, putting their 2 cents in. But it's not something that is stable. It's not long-lasting. And whatever is going on, the communications are toxic. And that's kind of like, even when somebody has done something egregious to you in a relationship, if you're constantly telling your friends and family and whoever will listen the tale of woe of your relationship, then it's almost like you're getting off on your victimhood, So that's kind of like what will keep you back also, because this is all about moving forward. Because even as what comes in is the Judgment card. So this is about rebirth. If you are involved with somebody who is married or otherwise taken, this card could mean that the chickens come home to roost. And it's like cause and effect, baby. Whatever sometimes people say, well, I didn't make any vows with that person. Yeah, you did. You made vows because as soon as you got involved with somebody, if you knew that they were in a relationship with somebody else, then you became a co-conspirator. Now, if you didn't know, if that person didn't, fail to disclose that to you, maybe it was a sin of omission. Maybe they didn't lie and say they were single. Maybe they just didn't bother to tell you that they were married. As soon as you find out, it's on you. Now, obviously, people get emotionally involved, and then it's hard for them to give it up. And that may be what is happening, where it's like maybe you're creating an alternative truth or narrative. Maybe you're weaving an alternative narrative of what's actually going on, because you don't want to face the fact that you are now a part of it. But the Judgment card is about cause and effect. It's about coming through the fire. In some cases, it's about purification or healing from a situation that was very difficult. As I dig deeper in this reading, I can see some challenges, but basically, with the Wheel of Fortune, I think that you have a lot of positive stuff going on. And the outcome, I did pick another card because of what this card represents. The outcome is the Four of Cups. This could be that either, sometimes this can be that somebody is coming forward and offering you a relationship, but you are disinterested. I would definitely look into this, if this kind of makes sense to you, because you may be deliberately avoiding a relationship that is really, could be a really good one. It could be this type of a relationship where it could have a very long lifespan, but you have decided that you're not attracted to this person. And if that's the case, what can happen is you may have a tendency to chase after people who are not good for you. And when you get somebody who's actually interested, that's when you're disinterested. Because Gemini, being an air sign, as well as the fire signs, you know, and I'm a fire sign, Sagittarius, so we tend to be kind of commitment phobic. And I'm bracing myself for somebody writing me and saying, well, I'm a Gemini and that's not true. Well, obviously I'm generalizing. That's all I can do in a general reading. And it's generally true. So the distortion of that is to become attracted to people based upon their unavailability. And that's, you know, a married person fits the bill for that. Because then you have the excuse of not being around them all the time. And also, when you're not around people all the time, it makes it easier to idealize the situation and to think that, you know, it's such a great relationship. It might be anything but, especially as you get to know somebody like that. It's always more fun in the fantasy stage. But you have to look at this. You have to look at this tendency, because it may be something that holds you back from finding a person that is really for you. Maybe this person is a water sign. And maybe, you know, and that could be also with the Page of Cups. It could have been saying as a higher message, this is the person that's right for you. And this would be, by the way, this would be somebody who is artistic, who is maybe even a little bit younger than you, or a lot younger than you. And, or they just have a youthful attitude. But the King of Cups is not a bad person. You know, it is possible, I suppose, because we can't just judge people, you know, even people who are in affairs. Sometimes they really do have emotional needs. And even this applies to men, you know, and they don't even realize how much it hurts when they cannot connect with their spouse and they seek it elsewhere. Somebody who is the King of Cups would be very much like that. If they were rejected by their spouse emotionally, that they might seek something else out in order to feel whole. And maybe they feel like they have to stay together because they have children, you know. So I guess I should have allowed for that possibility. So I picked another card, and it was the King of Pentacles. This is a card of a lot of financial abundance, okay? So if you have just gotten a new job, or maybe you started a new business, this may be simply saying that you are really involved in your career and you don't even have time for all of this. And if that's true, that will make you feel more empowered anyway. And you will most likely be able to kind of, if you felt for some reason, because of this and because of this, if you felt disempowered, you may start to get your mojo back. Because it's like you're getting these lucky breaks. And yet also this could relate to somebody who is, you know, since we're in this Venus retrograde, it could be if you have a father of your child who's an earth sign, Again, that's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. That person may come back into your life, maybe not permanently, but in this short span of time, and you'll be dealing with that person. It's definitely a card of prosperity for you. So whatever's happening, I think that you're doing really well, Gemini. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below to my website. Otherwise, have a great March. Bye.